everybody, I'm Hannah. I am the Marketing and Recruiting Coordinator here at Crum. And we first of all just wanted to thank everybody for their interest in our specialized dispatch board. We have recently updated the pay, and to be honest, you guys have been beating me up a little bit in the comments of our ads, thinking that we're trying to hide something from you, or we've got strings that we're not telling you about. So we wanted to bring in the big guns, Mr. Keith Crum, our president here at Crum Trucking, to go over all the details and kind of give you guys a little bit more insight on our deal.
Thanks, Hannah. I'm happy to do that. We're able to offer this huge weekly minimum because our customer is partnered with us to make this happen. They understand that finding good quality people to handle their loads for them and provide good service to them and their customers is very important, and they've been a great partner for us for several years. I think we've been with them about 6 or 7 years, and we've had many sit downs with them and trying to ensure that their freight gets covered and serviced well. So to me, there's really no strings attached. The only thing I can think of is here at Crum we have a lot of minimum boards, and in order to get the minimum, you need to work a full week.
Right.
To us, a full week's 5 days. 5, 6 might go into 6 days, whatever. But just a full week's worth of work between the weekends. Mm-hmm. On any minimum board, if you miss a day because you're out for medical, or you took a 1 vacation day or 2 vacation days or something like that, you're not giving us a chance to give you a full week's worth of work.
Right.
So on those weeks, then you'll just be paid on your percentage pay. Mm-hmm. We pay from 26 to 29% here at Crum, and you'll just get your percentage of what you do. So on those weeks that you might only work 3 days or 4 days, your check's probably still going to be somewhere in
right.
I don't know, $13, $14, $15, $16, $1,700. I don't know. It's just not going to be the $2,000 minimum mm-hmm. Guarantee for that week. So the freight we're hauling is for this customer is forklifts, and we use specialized van trailers with special J-track rails in the floor. We have on-site loaders that load the freight for the drivers. The drivers delivering the forklifts throughout the country, and so the load's all strapped down, ready to go. All the driver has to do is come in, drop the trailer, hook to the loaded trailer, take a peek in the back, maybe jump up in the trailer, walk around real quick just to make sure everything looks good to them, mm-hmm. and then they're off and running. And pretty easy in and out. We dispatch these loads on a first in, first out basis, and all the loads are going to originate from either our drop yard in Seymour, Columbus, Indiana, Seymour, Indiana, or Batesville, Indiana. So all around this area, and that we have those drop yards just because the customer needs us to get the trailers off the yard for them. They can't have hundreds of trailers sitting on their yard, so we have to move them. So you'll be picking up your trailers from one of those drop yards, and we're able to get you home on the weekends if you live within a few hours of any of those locations I named. Depends on how far you want to drive back and forth to get home for the weekend, but I'm just going to call it a few hours, and you can get home every weekend. As far as the number of loads that you're going to run through the week, most of the time it's 1 load per week. It's the loads have a length of haul that's going to get you pretty much take your week to just do that 1 delivery. There's going to be weeks that you do get 2. Maybe you do a short one and a little longer one or something like that, a 2-day run and then a 3-day run possibly, something like that. The beauty of the minimum is if you get caught, and your dispatch for Monday is a Monday, Tuesday, Michigan run, and by the time you get back Tuesday, the loads that they loaded on Tuesday that are going to be departing, or Monday and Tuesday that are going to be departing on Wednesday for you, maybe they're all short loads or something, and so you end up going to Michigan again and back, and you work 4 days that week, but you were available 5 days, so you're still going to get the $2,000 minimum. Right. But we're going to do our best to fill the week for you and put those loads together in a fashion so that we can get the most out of the $2,000 as well. But it is we do, as I said earlier, we pay by the percentage. So newer drivers that only have a year experience, then they're going to get 26% of the load, and drivers that have 5 years plus experience are going to get 29%. And you got to think for a minute that if our rates are high enough to pay $2,000 minimum, then getting paid by percentage, you're going to get paid pretty good. Even if you don't get the minimum, for the work you do, you're going to get paid pretty good.
Right.
So I'm sure some people were thinking maybe the catch was there's a minimum mile requirement for the week or something like that. But there is no minimum mile requirement. Our dispatchers again are going to dispatch you with a full week, the best they can to be good for you, and so you can make more than 2,000.
Right.
There's a lot of our guys already before this program before it was even introduced. There's guys making $2,500 a week. So you can make what you want to make, and the loads you take and loads you accept and everything. So if you want to leave on Sunday, versus a Monday and get a longer weekend or something like that, it's a lot of it with a percentage base. You can make what you want to make.
Yeah.
So the 2,000 minimum just protects you. So in all of the loads we've done, we've ran this type of freight for this customer for about 2 years, and the average miles for the week are about 2,200 miles. So that kind of gives you an idea of how much the driver's running in a day. We can't get, it depends on the length of haul. If it's a long haul to New Mexico or Idaho or Florida, something like that, you can get out and you get a lot of miles in, you make 2 or 3 stops and you come back, so you can get some things done pretty quick there. You can get some miles in. But a lot of times with these stops, the customers are closing earlier in the afternoon at 4 or 5 o'clock, something like that, and then your next stop is down the road, not too far, so you're limited sometimes on what you can do. So again, that's where the $2,000 minimum protects you again from having a lot of stops on a route or something like that. So once you're delivered at your final destination for the forklift load, the goal is always to have your return load. It's going to be a broker load coming back to our area because we're going to different areas all the time.
Right.
We can't have set loads. We do have some set loads. We'll have some customer freight that we'll bring back once in a while, and we've done this long enough now. For the past couple of years, we've established those relationships with some certain brokers out of certain areas we hit heavy. To date, this can change, but to date, our heavy areas are like Minnesota and Texas and Florida.
Yep.
We go to the East Coast. It goes everywhere. You're not going to see any loads that are going to California, Washington State, or anything like that. So everything's within a week's worth of running. You can get out. That's why, again, we can confirm that you're going to be in every weekend if you're from this area.
Right.
You're going to get back home. So you're not going to be stuck out with a 34-hour break or anything like that. So the average number of stops on these trips is 2.3. So our customer told us that in the beginning before we ever started with them a couple of years ago, and I just ran the numbers on our freight because we collect all that data, and to just verify and to see for myself what ours comes out to, came out to 2.31. So it's like they're dead on their information, and we're going to see. We've seen some stops. I've heard of some routes that were like 8 or maybe 8 stops or something like that, but I think that's a rarity. Well, it's obviously a rarity because if you got a 2.3 average, you're getting a lot of 1 stoppers and whatever. So I think generally, as a rule of thumb, it's like 2 to 3 stops. But the good thing about stops for the driver is, depending on your years of experience, for each stop, the driver's going to get $30, just straight off. If you unload 1 forklift, you're going to get $30. That $30 is for like a labor, for the labor that you put into that load. So basically, that's removing the straps from the equipment that you're delivering, and it's cleaning the trailer maybe out a little bit, pick up some stuff off the floor. There can't be a whole lot of debris because it's brand new equipment that's going into the trailer. So maybe there's some fabrics from some packing blanks or something we maybe had to use or something like that, or cardboard that fell off or something like that or whatever. So, you know, we're paying that $30 per stop to keep the trailers clean for the customers, for the next driver, and for the driver to you know, roll up the straps, put them in bins. There's bins provided inside the trailer, in every trailer. They'll be sitting right there in the back for the driver. Just roll up. We have different kinds of equipment on there, so there'll be some long straps we use for certain things, and some shorter straps, and we want those put in a box by themselves, a bin or whatever. And then we have plates that go into the floor, and we want them put in another bin. And again, this is to help our be courteous to the loaders on the dock, because they're loading these things for the drivers, you know. So let's make it as convenient for them as possible and easy, because they got a lot of loads. They're bringing a lot of loads out of there every day, and it can get stressful, and especially hot in the trailers and everything during the summer and all that. So, but that's what the $30 is for, and the driver gets that for every stop. If you had that 8-stop run and you delivered one stop, you know, one forklift to each stop, you got $30 for those 8 stops. And then on top of that, after the first stop, the driver's going to get their percentage of our stop charge to the customer. So after the first stop, you're going to get $30 for the first stop. After on stop 2, you're going to get that $30 again, and you're going to get another $26 or $29, depending on your level of experience, on top of that $30 just for making the stop. So, and that goes all the way through however many stops you have after the first stop.
Yeah, I think it ranges between $30 and $61. It can go up to,
Yes,
yeah,
for sure.
And this is a limited offer, right?
Yeah, so it sort of is. It sort of is a limited time frame on it, because this customer, we're currently doing about 40 loads a week for them right now, 40 to 45 loads a week. And they want us to go up to 75 real soon. So within the next 1 to 2 months, we need to get about 18 drivers hired. So for about every 1 load a day that we pull out of that, we increase in volume coming out of there, it takes about 3.5 drivers. So that again gives you another indication of how many loads a week you're getting. So if it takes, in order for us to cover 5 loads a week, 1 every day, it takes 3.5 drivers to do that. So you can see most of them are getting 1 load a week, you know, and a couple of them are getting a couple loads. So one other thing is, you know, we've talked a lot about the area around, and if you live around that area, the areas where we're domiciling the trailers or parking the trailers, and if you live within a few hours, you can get home every weekend, and that's absolutely true. But we can also hire from other states as well for this particular customer. So if you we have a driver who lives in Florida. I think we have one new one coming in from Texas. And so we're now able to do that. In the past, we haven't been able to hire outside of our little 200-mile radius here or something. So as long as those people are willing to be out 14 to 21 days, we're happy to talk to you as well, because this type of freight we can get, you know, we've got so many loads, and as we increase the number of loads, it's just going to give us more opportunity to get you back to Florida or whatever more often, you know. So with that being said, as well as independent contractors, you know, it's totally open for owner operators as well. We'd be happy to talk to any owner operators to help cover that 18 discrepancy that we have.
Yeah, make my job a little easier.
Yeah, and we haven't discussed any pay for owner operators or anything, but you can just take as common sense. If we're able to pay $2,000, I'll say it again because I said it once through this conversation. If we're able to pay a $2,000 minimum, the rates had to go up. The rates are good. We got a good rate per mile. Call in. We'll give you a couple of our ICs that run it. We'll give you a couple drivers that run it, and we'll have you give them a call, and you can talk to them directly. They'd be more than happy to talk to you. I just had a driver in my office Friday. At the end of the day, he came through, and we were just shooting a bull, and he said, I said, so how's things going for you? And he runs a Toyota board. He's been running it for about 6-8 months, I think, something like that. And he's like, this stuff's easy. He's like, I can't believe how easy it is, you know? So, I mean, there's, again, it seems like there would be a catch to it.
Yep.
But there's absolutely not. We got a great customer that's willing to support this program, and by allowing us to get the rates where we need them, and you know, we're just looking for some good people to you know, support the good service that they've enjoyed, and that's another reason why they're willing to do it, because they've received some really good service from the drivers that handle the freight now, and we hope to we just need to get that 18 drivers in there.
There you have it. Straight from the mouth. He can't do anything else other than just take his word for it now. So if you're interested, give us a call. Our number is on our website. You can also fill out our website inquiry if you'd like us to email you back with some info. But that's all we can do. Thank you.